Alright. So, this is Blade and Sorcery. It's an early access game, and this is what I'll be using for the physics project, or the choice word project, whatever. This is my character. So I'll be recording this and showing you how it works, how the force works. This is for both the physics and gaming and the physics and gaming and the physics and gaming and super noon. See? Okay. There's a bunch of weapons here. And then we go outside. We probably want to test this over there. So got an outpost. Alright. This is the perfect game because you can move stuff, so that would act as inertia, and then you have force because there's a literal power of force, and then action and reaction, which is fall damage, something else maybe? I don't know. And gravity, because it's usually called a gravity spell. So yeah, it's a gravity spell. I sound very stupid, probably. Oh, alright, whatever. So while this is loading, every time there's like a action, reaction, inertia, or force type thing that's happening, I will explain. I will say it's like this is what's happening. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some cutting out or something. I don't know. This thing even loads. Alright. Here now it's loaded. So you can see down there is a boat. And over here are enemies. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, I accidentally took an image. Alright. Oh. Dismemberment. Right. Yeah. I didn't want that. Oh, there's my bleed. So with this, you can send it flying. Damn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoa. I did not know that can happen. Alright. So let's go. Wrong thing. Force spell. With this, you can move. Well, you're supposed to be able to move. You can move. You can move objects, and you can see. Here's an example of action and reaction. If I were to lift this into the sky, it obviously rises. And if I were to, let's say, smack it against that wall, you can see it bounces off because there's an action, which is me throwing it at the wall, and then there's a reaction, which is that. And the force is, well, this. Me lifting it. That. Oh. That's funny. Now, I'm going to search up the definition of force because I completely forgot. What is the definition of force? Oh, nah. Newton's law. Newton's first? Second? Second. Newton's second law. Oh, okay. Force, mass, acceleration. Force is mass times acceleration. So, mass times acceleration. You can see there's a mass, and it's accelerating through force. We can use a test subject. We just gotta find somebody. Oh, and here's another good reaction and action. Fall damage. Fall damage is a perfect something for a game. There's that. See, what happens is, I'm doing this right now. If I were to fall, you can see as the red on my screen, it means I got hurt. Push, pull, push, push. This is also an action and reaction. Climbing. Climbing is an action and reaction. You pull and it throws you up. That's an action and reaction. Oh, please. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, we can't go down there. Actually, what happens? This is an example of outer space with very little gravity. So everything floats. As you can see, if I were to pick this up and throw it, it would do that. That's also another action. See, it breaks because of that. Oh, wrong spell. Uh-oh. Anyway, here's another force. So there's mass, and if I were to throw it, it would be acceleration. This is a force spell, because look, and obviously in Star Wars it's called the Force for a reason. See? That's a force. And it's being forceful because you're forcing an object to move. It's also an example of inertia. This is an outside force acting on an object. See, if I try to move it, it wouldn't move. Because an object at, well, with my feet obviously, but an object at rest will stay in rest unless acted upon by an outside force. And I am that outside force acting upon it. Anyway. With the sword, well, I wouldn't say there's anything with this, but yeah. Aw. Who's attacking me? Anyway, as I was saying, oh. Damn. Again, as I was saying, I can lift this man. That's a force times acceleration. And since we're on the topic of Newton's laws and reference points or whatever, I don't know. Let me search up the definition again, because I completely forgot. Alright, I remember. A force graph, right? A distance versus time graph, that would be a force. See, let's say it's starting in this corner, and let's see how far it gets. So, just move it. Never mind, not a good example. Let's use him as an example. Alright. Let me... Oh, wrong spell. Nope. Yeah. Okay, so little Timmy, he was walking, right? This is his home, okay? He was walking. That's a force, right? See, he was over here at the start. This is the reference point. This is 0. So if we were to move him super quickly, the distance versus time graph would be like going like that. It would be like here, if we were to do it slowly and increasingly speed, it would go whoop. Wait, no. It would go whoop. So it would go in a ramp sort of shape. If we were to do a incline at the start and then slowly decline, it would look like a rainbow. So, thank you so much for helping me. In any case, that's force. That's inertia. I can give more examples of inertia. See, when I'm about to go over to these people, because people obviously, I don't think people budge that easily. So, let's take, oh, fire spell. Kind of need your weapons, sir. No, come here. Thank you. I need that weapon. There we go. Oh! I forgot one more example. So if I were to pick this man up, right, I would have a lot of mass. My acceleration would be slow because I have a lot of mass. So meaning when I climb, that extra mass on me would not allow me to climb. See, if I were to climb one-handed while holding him, you'd see that I can barely climb. I can, but it's very heavy. Opposed to just climbing regularly, which I can do very easily one-handed. And I have free climb on, so I don't die while recording this. But usually, this game works, you have to have an action-reaction by holding a ledge. You have to hold a curve in order to climb. I have free climb on, so I don't fall off a cliff and die. In any case, here's our next test subject. We'll call him Brian. Actually, no. Oh, there's more. We'll call. Ooh, that's not good. There it is. See, if I oh, there's more. See, if I move into him like this, he pushes back. But if it was a heavier object like a wall, you can see it won't let me budge through. And in some specific games, you're allowed to clip through the wall in VR. But here, that's not allowed. Because it's a very realistic fighting game. Somewhat, actually. This is also another, there's a lot of action-reaction. That's basically how video games work. So you can see with this, I hit her, and she dies. Because a massive blow to any part of your body could potentially kill you. Just like that. In any case, if I were to throw this at a wall, what would happen? Well, sometimes it wouldn't go in. That's action-reaction. Sometimes it would penetrate it, maybe like with wood. Fire against wood doesn't usually work. So let's try with some wood. I'm bad at throwing. Okay, so as we see, some wood does not work. Some wood, however, does. This is very violent. I am so sorry. I am like really, really sorry. This is sort of violent. But I have no better game for action-reaction. As you can see again, this mast, if I throw it, it flies really easily. With this, you can see it's picking up slower, as to oppose with this. See how it easily floats around wherever I move? And if I were to throw it, that would happen. As with this, moving it around, very, very, very slow. Now, let me try something. Oh well. See, with this, you can see, obviously, it moves slower. Uh-oh. But if I were to do this, it still moves really, really fast. And obviously, because this is quicker, because this has more mass, which means less acceleration. The more mass, the less acceleration. The less mass, the more acceleration. If I could pick these up, which I actually can, you can see that it breaks. Force and mass times acceleration. Now with some of these, as you can see, like in the ground, maybe, right? With this, you can obviously lift it. You can throw it around. You can do whatever you want with it. but with like harder materials, right? You can see it's not moving. That's inertia. An object in rest will stay in rest. An object in motion will stay in motion. This is at rest, and it will stay in rest about until the end of time, maybe. Stealth kill. Anyway, as I'm going through here, there's for the physics in video games, you can see that there's a lot of physics that have to do with, obviously, my superpower assignment. It has the power of force. It can gravitate anything and throw it. It can bend physics and reality. And if I were to do that on both sides, you can see stuff is already floating, which is a reaction of this. Everything right now is in a lower gravity state. This would also be what would happen if we had no gravity. So as we move through here, we'll likely come across more of what? More action reaction or force. We can encounter anything in this game, and I mean that in a very what way? I don't know, but I am serious. This game has a lot of physics. I mean, how do you think I unalive these people? How do I send them to a better place? Uh-oh. Like this. Die. See, if there wasn't physics in this game, they would probably just stay still. They want to move around. As you can see, bigger force. And if I were to drop the force under and lift it up again, the acceleration would be higher. Lighter stuff drops quicker. Not lighter stuff drops less quick. So, here we have a blade from Blade and Sorcery. I'm gonna climb up here. So, as you can see, action, reaction. As we proceed through. Oh, one. Oh, there it is. See, I can stabby through the door. I wonder. Ah, so it does work. You just have to have a lot of force using your mass. You have to use your mass to drive a sword into the wall. And acceleration. See, if I were to just go. Oh. See, if I were to put no force at all. See, me putting 0 force, it wouldn't happen. And as it did before, it didn't happen. See? And if I like run into it and then it drives all the way through. That's because of force. In any case, I'm gonna keep playing and keep explaining where I find all those 3 forces. And with my Super Newton assignment, you can see me using the force.
Eat dirt.
No!
We didn't see me.
Ooh, creepy room. See here? If I pull, it pulls with me. Force. That's action, reaction. Ooh, conflict. If I were to, you can see that it breaks. Action, reaction. Every game has its own action, reaction. If your game doesn't have a reaction, action, reaction, then I don't know how you got that. I don't know why you call it a game, because it shouldn't necessarily be a game. What makes a game is its realism. Well, your game obviously doesn't have to be super realistic to have literal laws of physics. All games have physics. If your game doesn't have physics, it's probably not a game whatsoever. If you can't break stuff, if you can't literally do anything, you can't do anything without action reaction. There would be no fall damage. There wouldn't be major essential game parts. There wouldn't be fall damage. There wouldn't be enemy enemy netherrealming, whatever. There wouldn't be any of this. There wouldn't be any of this. There wouldn't be any of that. And there also wouldn't be a bunch of other stuff. That's what makes a game, action reaction. And action reaction in video games will probably just be an if then or if else statement in coding. Although you don't need to know that, it's pretty cool. I'd say at least. Anyway, this is my submission for the science project. I'm not gonna cut anything out because I don't know. I'm not gonna cut anything out, but this is for this is for my physics and gaming and Super Newton because of this. Thanks, Mr. Matchard, for letting me do the Super Newton here, because I really enjoy playing this game, so I really wanted to do it for the project considering I have this. An anti-gravity spell. Kablamo! Super cool. Whee! Alright. Bye, Mr. Matchett. Thanks for watching this. Alright. Yeah. It should be working. Okay. Alright, goodbye.